So, welcome back to our YouTube channel Aman Codes. In today's episode, we are going to discuss about inner loops or nested loops. So, today my requirement is going to be like this. See here. So, I want to print like this. So, for one, the output is going to be like this. 1, 2, and for these 3. So, today what I required in the sense at output, first it should have to print 1 like this one. After that, for 1, it should print 1, 2, 3. Like this, I want to print not only 1. So after this 1, I want to print 2. And for this 2, 1, 2, 3. Like that, I have to print up to 5. So this is my requirement today. So in order to print this type of output in the console, in Python, we are going to use nested loops or inner loops. Let's see what is nested loops or inner loops. Basic definition is going to be like this. A loop inside another loop is known as nested loop or inner loop. A loop within loop is also known as nested loops or inner loops. So now I am going to show one program. See here. For I in range of like this 1 comma 6 colon. Next here I am going to do print I. So print of that I. Again I am going to do like this. For j in range of like this from 1 comma 4. So it should be printed that j also. See here I'm going to do that thing. Print of that j. So after that, I'm going to keep else block for inner for loop. So else, I'm going to declare here, I'm going to print one line, print of this type of line. So one small line I'm going to print in else part of inner loop. So we have outer loop also. For that outer loop, I'm going to take one else part. So in this outer loop also I'm going to print one line, one small line. So this is one program, right? So again I'm going to declare here one another program. Like this I'm going to take one line. I'm going to declare I is equals to 1. Then while I'm going to give condition I less than or equals to 5. So after that I'm going to give indentation symbol and then I'm going to declare like this. See here, print of that I. I'm going to print that I. Now, after printing that I, I'm going to declare another inner loop. So before declaring, we have to initialize, right? J is equals to 1. I'm going to initialize. After that, see here, I'm going to declare one inner loop. While of j less than or equals to 3, I'm going to take indentation symbol. So I'm going to print that j. See here, print of j. So for inner while, I'm going to mention else part. See here, else of. So for inner loop, I'm going to declare else part. That is like this. In else part, I'm going to update I. So here, I want to update j, right? So after printing that j, I want to update that j also. J is equals to j plus 1. Here, after printing I didn't update it, right? I'm going to update that I in which part? Inner loop else part I'm going to update. So after that, I'm going to declare outer loop else part. See here else indentation symbol. I'm going to print simply one line. See here, I declared two programs in order to print my requirement. My requirement is like this. So in output, I want one. For that one, I want to print 3. 1, 2, 3. So next, I want to print 2. For that 2, I want to print 1, 2, 3. So like that, I want to print 5. For that 5, I want output as 1, 2, 3. So this is my requirement. In order to do my requirement, I want to use inner loops or nested loops. In this, I declared two for loops. In this program, I declared two while loops. See here, right? One loop inside another loop is known as nested loop or inner loop. One loop inside another loop is known as nested or inner loops, right? So remember this point. In this for, try to understand the flow. Range of 1 to 6. In the sense, it is going to take values from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to 5 it is going to take. So it is going to take 1 to 6 minus 1. N minus 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contains this range of 1 to 6. So for first iteration it is going to take this 1 and it is going to place in this I. Right? This is a variable name. So now I'm going to print that I. So let us assume that this is my output. So see here, that one is going to place in I is going to print here. So first one is going to be get as an output. So after that, I'm going to do like this, right? For j in range of 1 to 4, right? So it is going to take range of 1 comma 4 minus 1. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So from 1 to 3 it is going to take 2 and 3. For first iteration, 1 is going to take and placed in j. So for that j, we are going to print that j. So it is going to print j like this 1. After printing j, it is going to iterable object. Once you recall the for loop flow, so after printing that j, it is going to iterable object. In that iterable object, it is going to select another value, that is 2, and going to place in j and going to print that value. So here it is going to print 2. So after that, it is going to again iterable object and it is going to select 3 and it is going to place in j and j is going to be print. See here 3 is going to be printed as an output. So after that, it is going to iterable object once again. There is no elements that are present in iterable object. Then it is going to come to the else part of this inner loop. So in this else part of inner loop, it is going to print one line it is going to be printed. After that, it is going to this outer for loop. We have outer for loop also, right? Why it is not going to the outer for loop else? In the sense, because so outer for loop is not going to be false till no, right? So that is the reason it is going from inner loop else part to directly outer loop iterable object. So first we are selected 1. Now it is going to select the another value 2. It is going to kept that 2 in I and it is going to print that I. So in next iteration, it is going to print here 2. So same like what we did in this first iteration of outer loop, the second iteration of outer loop is also going to be same. Same, it is going to generate same 1 to 3 values and it is going to place in j. It is going to print. Repeat this up to completion of iterable object elements. So 1, 2, 3 is going to get as an output. After that, it is going to go to the else part of this inner loop and it is going to print one line. After printing line, it is going to outer part of iterable object. Like that, it is selecting 3 and doing the same process, 4 doing the same process, 5 and doing the same process. Like that, the process is going to be completed. So like that, the loop is going to be happen until outer for loop is going to be false. When this outer for loop elements are completed, then the flow is going to else part of outer loop. So in this, we have one another line, that another line is going to be print. So this is the flow of for loop. In for loop, try to understand the execution of while and while. We are declared here while, initialized with I is equals to 1. And here I less than or equals to 5. 1 less than or equals to 5. True, right? So then it is going to insert that loop and it is going to print that value. Assume this is an output window. See here, this is an output window. So here I'm going to declare. So first I is going to be print, right? So 1 is going to be printed. After that, we initialized j with 1. So 1 less than or equals to 3. It is also true. So it is going to print this j also. What is the value of j? That is 1. So 1 is going to be print here. So after that, it is going to execute this statement. J is equals to j plus 1. Here j is going to be updated. So here it is going to the top of the loop. So here j is going to be incremented as 2. Again, it is going to check the test condition. So that is 2 less than or equals to 3. It is true. Then j is going to be print. So 2 is going to be print as an output. So again, j is going to be incremented here as 3. So here it is going to check 3 less than or equals to 3. Yes, it is true, right? Less than or equals to. That is the reason it is true. It is going to print j. In the sense, 3 is going to be printed. So after that, it is going to update the j as 4. So here in inner loop, it is going to check 4 less than or equals to 3. It is false. Whenever the inner loop is going to be false, it is going to execute inner loop else part. So inner loop else part, we are declared the updation statement of I. So previously we have I here 1, right? Previously we have initialized with 1. So 1 plus 1, it is going to be 2. 2 is going to be stored in I, and it is going to test the outer loop test condition 2 less than or equals to 5. It is true. So the same thing is going to be happened until the outer loop is going to be false. So 2 is going to be printed. In the 2, 1, 2, 3 is going to be happen like that until the outer loop is going to becomes false. When the outer loop is going to becomes false, when I value is 6, then less than or equals to 5, it is going to false. When the outer loop is going to be false, then it is going to execute outer loops else block. So in this outer loops else block, we are declared one line. That one line is going to be executed. So this is the flow of while in while. So this is for and for, and this is while in while. This is the program. These are the two approaches in nested or inner loop. So actually we have two loops, right? We have for loop and we have while loop. So in for loop, it is going to be one approach. In while loop, it is going to be one approach. So in for loop, we are using for in for, right? In while loop, we are using while in while. So the combinations also going to be taken as an approaches. So first we are did for in for, right? So second we did while in while. Now the third is going to be crisscross these methods. So for in while, and next while in for is also going to be taken as an approaches. So in order to declare nested loops or inner loops, we have four approaches. This is one approach for in for, this is another approach while in while, and we have another two approaches, that is for in while and while in for. So this is all about the flow of nested or inner loops. So try to understand the concept. So inner or nested loops. The process of defining one loop inside another loop is going to called as inner or nested loop. What I said, one loop inside another loop is going to be called as nested loop or inner loop. The execution process of inner or nested loops is that for every value of outer loop, inner loop is going to be execute finite number of times until inner loop test condition becomes false. So for every value of outer loop, inner loop is going to be executed finite number of times until the inner loop's test condition becomes false. When the inner loop test condition becomes false, it is going to the outer loop. When outer loop test condition false, it is going to execute else parts and all the program. So we can use inner loops or nested loops in four ways. Four ways in the sense four approaches. So we are going to see what are they. We have approach number 1. We have approach number 2. We have approach number 3. And we have 4. For loop in for loop. For variable 1 in iterable object 1. Indentation symbol. This is outer loop. So after that, one tab space. Here I am going to mention another for loop for variable 2 in iterable object 2. Indentation symbol. This is known as inner loop. In this, after one tab space, we have to declare one statements. So here also statements is going to be happen. So this else part is for this inner for loop, else indentation symbol. After that one tab space, this is else block of statements. So this is else block for outer for loop. So else indentation symbol. After that one tab space. So then else block of statements. This is a syntax or approach for loop in for loop. So let's see the approach number 2, while loop in while loop, right? So see here, while test condition 1, indentation symbol. This is outer loop. Give one tab space and provide the block of statements. Inner while loop we are going to mention. Test condition 2, indentation symbol. This is inner while loop, and we have to give some tab space. Then we have to provide the block of statements of inner loop. So this is an else part for inner loop. This is a block of statements for that else part, and this is an outer else part for this while loop. So this is an approach number 2, while loop in while loop. So here we have approach number 3, that is for loop in while loop. For loop in while loop, right? Then in while loop in the sense while is going to be an outer loop. See here, while test condition 1, indentation symbol, tab space, and we have to provide block of statements, while block of statements, in the sense outer loop. Outer loop block of statements we have to declare here. After that, I'm going to use for variable 2 in iterable object 2 indentation symbol. This is known as inner loop. That is the reason we are going to call for loop in while loop. While loop is going to be outer loop. For loop is going to be inner loop. So these are the block of statements for inner loop, and this is else part of inner loop, and this is else part of outer loop. So this is the syntax or approach for loop in while loop. So see here, the approach number 4 is going to be like this. While loop in for loop. While loop in for loop, in the sense for loop is going to be an outer loop and while loop is going to be an inner loop. So see here, for variable 1 in iterable object 1, this is an outer loop. This is a block of statements. So while test condition 2, indentation symbol, this is going to be an inner loop, and here I am going to declare block of statements of inner loop. So this is an else part of this inner loop. This is an else part of this outer loop. This is approach number 4. So by using these 4 approaches, we can declare this inner or nested loops in Python programming language. So I have discussed this, right? Now I'm going to prove in practical. See here, I'm going to open PyCharm. For example .py. So see here, I'm going to declare like this. First of all, for I in a range of like this 1 comma 6 indentation symbol. After that, I'm going to print I, and here I'm going to declare another for loop for j in range of like this 1 comma 4, and it is going to be indentation symbol. After that, I'm going to print j. So after that, I'm going to declare else part like this. So here I'm going to declare one simple line. So after that, I'm going to declare else part. See here, else part for outer loop, and I'm going to declare another line. So see, another line is going to be like this. So this is my program. I'm going to save the program and I'm going to execute my program. See here, how we got an output. We got 1. For that one, we got output like this 1, 2, 3, right? So in order to get the 1, 2, 3 as a side of this, I'm going to print like this. Here I used like this, end is equals to double quotes. In order to print that upcoming value as a side, I'm going to use this statement. And after that, here while printing j, I'm going to give one tab space in order to maintain that format. See here, I'm going to execute this program. See, the output is going to be for 1. It is going to get an output 1, 2, 3. And else part is going to be executed. See here, we got one line as an output, right? So the next iteration, it is going to outer for loop. Here, next element is going to be selected. So 2 is going to selected and place in I. So I is going to print. So here we got 2 as an output. For that 2, same process is going to be repeated. Same 1, 2, 3 has been repeated. Else part is going to be executed. See, one line we got as an output, right? So same thing is going to repeat until the outer for loop is going to become false. See, 3, 1, 2, 3 and line. 4, 1, 2, 3 and line. 5, 1, 2, 3 and line. So this is my requirement, right? So in starting video, I declared my requirement. For 1, it should be 1, 2, 3. For 2, 1, 2, 3 up to 5, 1, 2, 3. We got here 1, 1, 2, 3 up to 5, 1, 2, 3, right? So after becoming outer for loop as false, it is going to execute outer loop else block is going to be executed, right? It is going to print this type of line. See, we got the output as this type of line, right? So this is the use of for loop or inner for loop. So by this way, we are going to declare the first approach of nested loops. So approach number 1 we have completed right now. Now I'm going to take this program only. Approach number 2. So I'm going to discuss approach number 2. Approach number 2 is like this. While in while, right? So see here, I'm going to initialize I is equals to 1 and I less than or equals to, I'm going to declare 5. So my requirement is this type of requirement, right? So see here, that is the reason I less than or equals to 5 and I'm going to print that I. No, I'm not going to update that I value. I'm going to initialize j value as 1. Now, while j less than or equals to 3, I want 3 only. 1, 2, 3 as like this. So that is a j less than or equals to 3. In that I'm going to print j, and I'm going to update that j also. In the else part of that inner loop, I'm going to update I value. I is equals to like this, I plus 1. So we have outer else block also, right? So outer else part, in this outer else part, I'm going to print one line. Simply I'm going to print one beautiful line. And here, in order to print like previous, I'm going to add end is equals to double quotes. See here, and I'm going to run this program. So when I'm trying to print j, I'm going to give one tab space. So see here, and I'm going to execute again. So this is what I want to get, right? So 1 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 3 1 2 3 up to 5 1 2 3 is my requirement. After that, this else part is going to be executed. This line is also going to be get as an output. So this is our second approach in nested loops or inner loops, that is while loop in while loop. Now we are going to declare the approach number 3. So the approach number 3 is going to be like this, for loop in while loop. So outer loop is going to be while loop. So now I'm going to create new file, approach number 3. Here I'm going to take that thing, approach number 3, that is per loop in while loop, right? So for loop in while loop, I'm going to discuss. So outer is while loop. So before declaring while loop, we have to mention the initialization part. I is equals to 1, while I less than or equals to 5, and indentation symbol. Print I but not update that I. And I'm going to declare for j, I'm going to take for j in range of 1 comma 4, I'm going to declare here. Now I'm trying to print that j, and after that I'm going to declare the else part of that for loop, right? Here I'm going to print one line, and after that line I'm going to update the I value as I plus 1. I is equals to I plus 1, I'm going to update, and after that I'm going to declare else part, that else part for that while loop, right? Outer loop, that is while loop. And I'm going to print one line. So that line I'm going to print like this. So in order to get the output as previous, I'm going to declare here end is equals to double quotes, and here I'm going to declare one tab space. See here, slash t is for tab space, and I'm going to mention here like this. And I'm going to execute the approach number 3. See here, we got output same, right? 1 1 2 3 2 1 2 3 3 1 2 3 and up to 5 1 2 3. After this printing one line, we got else part also. See here, this line also we got, right? So this is an approach number 3 in nested loops or inner loops, right? So we are going to discuss the last and final approach, that is approach number 4, while loop in for loop. I'm going to create one new file, approach number 4, that is like this. I'm going to do this thing. Approach number 4 is while in for, right? So for this while in for, I'm going to declare for as an outer loop, while as an inner loop. For as an outer loop, while as an inner loop. See here, for I in range of, that is going to be 1 comma 6. Range is going to take from start to stop minus 1. Start is 1, stop is going to be 6, stop minus 1 in the sense 6 minus 1 up to 5 it is going to be take. So here I'm going to print that I. See here, printing of I is going to be happen. In order to get the output as previous, I'm going to declare end is equals to like this. And here I'm going to declare inner loop, that is while loop. While j less than or equals to 3, I'm going to declare. After that indentation symbol, before declaring while loop, must and should we have to declare initialization part. That is going to be j is equals to 1. After that, I'm going to print j. So I'm not going to print j like this. I'm going to give one tab space before that j. Before that j is going to be print, I'm going to give one tab space. After that, I'm going to update that j value. In the else part of inner loop, I'm going to print one small line like this. So here line is going to be print. So in outer loop of else part, another line is going to be like this. So this is our program. This is our approach number 4. I'm going to execute this approach. So we got same output, right? See here, approach number 4. 1 1 2 3 2 1 2 3. 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 up to 5 1 2 3, right? After executing 1 1 2 3, we got one line. See here, we got one line, right? So like that, after executing all the things, we got one different line, that is outer loop else block has been executed. So my requirement is going to be print like this. So I did this requirement as an output by using 4 approaches in this inner loops or nested loops. One approach is while loop in for loop. One approach is for loop in while loop. One approach is while loop in while loop. Another last approach is going to be for loop in for loop. So these are the 4 approaches. By 4 approaches, I can do my requirement by using inner loops or nested loops. So this is all about inner loop or nested loop concepts in Python programming language. So that's all for today's episode. I hope you all understand. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Aman Codes. Thank you so much for watching.